Now it is Brexit Day at Labour's annual conference. They are up in Liverpool. We're going to be hearing from Jeremy Corbyn tomorrow, but we heard from Keir Starmer, Labour's Brexit Secretary, a short while ago. Well, let's have a bit of a talk through Labour's Brexit position. Let's talk to the former Special Advisor to Labour, Ayesha Hazarika, and also General Secretary of the Transport Salaried Staffs Association, Manuel Cortes. Thank you both very much for joining us. Ayesha, to you first of all, is it any clearer from Keir Starmer's speech what Labour's position on Brexit is?
Yes, I think we now have more clarity about the direction of travel, and that is Labour is not going to vote in support of the deal that the Prime Minister comes back with, and that all options are going to be on the table, including remaining within the EU and having a sort of people's vote on that. And I think that is very, very important. A lot of delegates here on all kind of right across the political spectrum, feel very, very strongly that, democracy will be served by giving the people another chance to have a vote on this. This is the most important political decision since the Second World War, will affect generations to come. And there's a great amount of unanimity here about the fact that we should try and have some more democracy on this issue. Keir's speech went down very, very well in the hall. And remember, the people who are in the hall are very loyal Jeremy Corbyn fans. A lot of people are here wearing T-shirts saying, "Love Jeremy Corbyn, hate Brexit." So I think Keir's sort of pronouncement has given people a lot of comfort here.
But you say that, Ayesha, but not all the unions are agreeing with you. Steve Turner for Unite has said, despite what Keir said earlier, it is a vote on the terms of exit. Manuel Cortes from the TSS, what is your view?
Well, my view is that the Labour Party has taken today a great step forward to ensuring that whatever happens with Brexit, that we will not accept any deal that puts our livelihoods and our jobs at risk. This is vitally important because while the Tories are still arguing with each other, Labour has today reached a settled position that the overwhelming majority of the members of our party and the trade unions that are affiliated to it can support.
Is that really true, though, Ayesha? I mean, we spoke to John McDonnell yesterday and he appeared to be saying something entirely different. Is Jeremy Corbyn happy with this line, that we could go back to having a second referendum? Do you really think?
Look, I mean, Jeremy Corbyn, it's a long-known issue that he has been a sort of Eurosceptic in the past, but I think the leadership has moved a lot on this position. Look, they've come into this conference. One of the big themes of their message coming into this conference is about party democracy. It's about listening to the members, and 86% of members do want us to sort of think again on Brexit. And as Manuel has said, the Labour movement is not just the members as well, it's our relationship with the trade union movement. It's a very important historic link in the Labour Party. So look, everybody is not going to be happy with this. There's still a small percentage of Labour voters and indeed MPs who voted leave, but I think the party members have spoken very, very clearly, and the leadership is actually kind of honouring what the party members think. And actually, it's also reflective of where a lot of the country is, because people are really worried about the direction of travel when it comes to Brexit. And it's not just Labour Party members, sort of other supporting, people that support other parties. I think the whole country is pretty dismayed about the direction of travel on Brexit.
But that's what you think, Ayesha. But we spoke to a chap in Barnsley in the last hour. Our correspondent Gerald Tubb was up there, and he said, "I'm really clear. I voted for Brexit. I want Brexit to continue. I don't want any more of this faffing about." And a lot of the population, the 17 million people who voted for it, do feel as strongly now as they did then.
Well, look, I'm sure people do feel strongly, but I don't think this is such a big decision. What is wrong with giving people another opportunity to just look at the terms of the deal and say, you know what, everyone, just have another moment to think about it? There's nothing ignoble about that. I think given this is such an important decision, which is not just going to affect us, it's going to affect our children and our grandchildren and generations to come, why isn't it the right thing to do to give people another opportunity so people can go into this eyes wide open?
I suppose a lot of people, Ayesha, will say that, how far do you go? How many more referendums do you hold? Manuel, about Labour's 6 tests, these are the things that they said that they had to be happy with. Do you think that they are really realistic tests? I mean, something delivers exactly the same benefits as we currently have as members of the single market and the customs union. Why on earth would the EU go for that?
Well, I think the tests are not just realistic, it's what was promised during the referendum. Remember, Nigel Farage told people that there will be no way that Britain will not be part of the single market if we left the EU. What is now happening is that people are realizing that what was promised during the referendum cannot be delivered. And people in a democracy have got the right to change their minds. Look, I'm a trade unionist. I'm a skilled negotiator. I wish I could say that about the government. But when I go in and negotiate a deal, when it's done and dusted, I take it back to our members and they vote for it or against it, and I act on their wishes. Giving people a chance to decide their future is vitally important, and that's why our union supports the idea of putting this to a popular vote.
Ayesha, do you think Labour Leave have said in the last couple of hours that Keir Starmer's making a leadership pitch, that he wants to be Jeremy Corbyn? Do you think there was any element of that today in this speech?
No, I don't think there's any truth. I think there's absolute no truth. Look, you know, I was at an event just a few nights ago with Progress, which is a sort of at the other end of the spectrum from Jeremy Corbyn. Nobody across the party is talking about challenging Jeremy Corbyn. You know, everyone has been down that route, and Jeremy Corbyn has won twice decisively. So there is absolutely no talk of a leadership challenge. I think that's absolute nonsense. I am disappointed, though, that the option of having a female deputy leader has been taken off the table in quite a surprising manner this morning, because I think that would have been good for the party. But actually, do you know what the party wants to do? All wings of the party do want to get together and unite on this position on Brexit, because look, the Tories are absolutely all over the place on this. As I said, it's such an important thing for our country. John McDonnell's speech went down very well yesterday, again across all wings of the Labour Party, and I think this is a moment to just actually move forward as a movement, because Brexit is universally unpopular in our movement.
I mean, I agree with Ayesha, because actually what you're seeing now is that you've got a united Labour Party. People like our policies, people loved our manifesto that we took to the country last year, and what you've got is a civil war which is deepening by the day in the Tories. And I think given that choice,
that's blatantly not true, is it? But, you have people saying kick out the Blairites at the Labour conference. You know, the Labour Party might be united. Those at the conference might be united, but that doesn't mean that the Labour Party is united, does it?
Well, I think the Labour Party is united. On Europe, I've been working with people across the whole spectrum of the Labour Party. On the economy, I think we've now got a consensus that we need to build a new economic model that benefits the majority of people in our country and not just a rich elite. The Labour Party is united. The civil war is in the Tory Party. And maybe you should be reporting that next week, which I'm sure you will.
I'm sure we will. We're looking forward to that immensely. Ayesha, you said that you don't think that Keir Starmer is going to challenge Jeremy Corbyn, but do you think Keir Starmer's position might be a little wobbly? Do you think there might be a reshuffle in the next few weeks after this speech today?
No.
I hope it isn't, and people I've sort of spoken to have indicated, and obviously, you know, Manuel is very close to the leadership as well. I don't think that would be the case. I think that would be a very silly act of sort of self-harm. I mean, look, it's all of the Labour Party, you know, there are some issues in terms of some sections of the Labour Party sort of fighting each other, but I really genuinely think coming together on Brexit will have a very unifying effect.
Absolutely, I agree
I mean, there's still definitely skirmishes, and actually I would like both wings of the party to stop fighting each other and talk about deselections. I think all of that is an absolute nonsense. I'm sure Manuel would absolutely sort of agree
I agree with that as well.
With me.
It's
nonsense. But I think the Labour Party, people at the top of the Labour Party, particularly John McDonnell, realises that the Labour Party has a shot at the title come the next general election, and they want the party to come together to sort of stop fighting each other and get out there and sort of fight the Conservatives. And this move on Brexit is going to be quite an important tool for them to bring the party together. So if they then turned around and attacked Keir Starmer or tried to get rid of Keir Starmer, then I think that would rip the party apart again. So I think that would just be, you know, an act of self-harm.
As we talk about party unity. Sorry, Manuel, I just want to put one final question to Ayesha, but we talk about party unity and about all being together. What do you feel when you see pictures of Luciana Berger having to walk around with an escort?
Oh, it's absolutely shameful. Luciana's one of my absolute kind of closest and dearest friends, and I have been horrified by the issues of anti-Semitism that has happened within our party, and the party has got to sort of deal with it. But on the Brexit issue, I think there is an opportunity for us to come together. But I absolutely, on things like anti-Semitism, the party, and we had a terrible summer. You know, we squandered a summer when we could have been attacking the Tories because we got into this kind of shameful fight about anti-Semitism. But I'm hoping that the leadership of the party now understands and is doing the right thing on that, and we can sort of move forward. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not being Pollyanna-esque about this, right? There are issues in the party. There's been a lot of talk about kind of deselecting MPs. The anti-Semitism stuff has been really, really hard. I'm not saying that that's not been a thing, but I do think now that we have a settled view on Brexit, there is a very strong opportunity for the party to sort of move together in a more united way. And going back to what Manuel was saying, a lot of the proposals put forward in the John McDonnell speech yesterday are actually quite popular across the party. For a long time now, Labour leaders for successive sort of administrations have been saying, look, the economy is not working for working people, we've got to try and kind of make a change for the better. So I think there is a sort of policy platform that a lot of people can get behind now.
OK, Ayesha Hazarika and Manuel Cortes, thank you both very much for joining us from the Labour Party conference up in Liverpool.